Let's talk Texas recruiting. The Horns, they're off to a 4-0 start, and they have their first SEC home game of the season this weekend. Mississippi State, they come to town. Another home game, another chance to impress recruits, and that's what Texas has been doing this season. AP polls number one ranked team is also looking to land the number one ranked recruiting class. I'm going to break it down. We got some flip intel. We got Longhorn insider Justin Wells on this video, and we are going to talk Horns recruiting. And just like the Horns have been winning on the field, Prize Picks has made me a big winner this season. Prize Picks is great. You guys know how to play. You pick two or more players, then you select more or less on their stat line, and you just win. That's all I do. I just win. And Quinn Ewers has been a big winner for me this season. I've hit more than on his passing yards a few times this year. I also love playing the Travis Hunter more than on receiving yards. That's been a big winner for me. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I like to take the over on INTs. DJU at FSU, he's hit for me a couple times. Prize Picks, though. It's easy. It's fun. It's a great way to play daily fantasy while you watch your favorite college football games. Let me know who you guys got in your lineup this week. I might play Quinn Ewers again. I need some winners. Let me know. Comment section below. Prize Picks, it's the most fun way to make a little money during the football season. Here's what we're going to do. Go to prizepicks.com/inside scoop. Use promo code inside scoop, and you get a guaranteed $50 when you play $5 in lineups. That's prizepicks.com/inside scoop. $50 to play five. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, let's bring in Justin Wells from Inside Texas. Now, Justin, last week, Malcolm Simpson, interesting D-line prospect. He's committed to Nebraska. He goes 6'3", 270. He made an unofficial visit last week and popped up on campus. What does that mean? Because we know that Texas is trying to finish their defensive line class. Is he a priority target moving forward?
He's becoming that. Right now, he does not have an offer from Texas, but that is something that he's talking to Texas coach Kenny Baker. And listen, Malcolm Simpson is one of those guys that he has a tremendous amount of upside. Multi-sport guy, plays basketball, very, very athletic. Former teammate at Galveston Ball, a five-star Texas commit, Jonah Williams. He was at Jonah Williams' ceremony, actually. So there's a connection there. And Texas really, really likes Simpson. Now, Simpson will be the first person that tells you he is solid to Nebraska. Everything is locked in. He feels great. But he is going to keep his options open. He is kind of looking at other schools a little bit, listening to other schools' pitches. Honestly, though, I think it's just Texas. I think he's very solid with Nebraska, but the Horns have his attention. And right now, they're going to actually bring him back for the Texas and Georgia game. And that might actually wind up being an official visit as well. And so if an offer comes to fruition in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think that tells you how much of a priority Simpson is. Texas was looking at 4 defensive linemen for 2025. I actually think that number is going to be 5 now.
All right. So if an offer comes through, what do you think happens? I mean, is this an instant flip? Do you think Texas is going to have to pursue him? Where do you think Texas stands if and when that offer comes?
I think Texas is in a great spot, actually. I think they're in a tremendous spot. Again, Simpson doesn't want to say anything public because he is so respectful of Nebraska coaches. Matt Rule and those guys have done such a good job, and I love how conscious he is about that factor. But again, Texas it's hard to deny the hottest team in the country. They're number one, and there's an opportunity for him to play very early.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about this weekend coming up in a second, but I want to talk October 19th. That is the weekend Texas plays Georgia at home. We already have 2 big 5-stars confirmed. Jonah Williams, who's committed to Texas, but also the number 1 athlete in America, Michael Terry III. He's confirmed for coming in for that game. There's going to be a bunch more. Go check Inside Texas for that. But I wanted to talk to you about this development that Michael Terry's coming to campus on October 19th. What does that tell you about his commitment timeline, which he hasn't commented on really, but really since summer we've been saying, hey, a commitment could come before the season, it could come early in the season. Well, Now he has a visit set for October 19th. What does that tell you about his timeline?
I don't think it tells us much about his timeline, but I do think it tells us where he's leaning and where he's potentially going to go. I think Texas is the leader in this recruitment. Nebraska, huge, building the relationship. Oregon, even better. Will Stein did a great job in this recruitment as well. I'm with you, Josh. We were kind of expecting a late summer announcement. And Michael Terry and his family are just being very pragmatic. They want to make sure that they ask all the right questions. They want to make sure that they make the right decision. This is a big deal for them. Being an athlete in that designated position, that matters. And so I think Coach Milwee and Coach Chris Gilbert have done a tremendous job in this recruitment. Sark, especially after that first official visit in June when he came on campus. But right now, I don't think the October 19th date, the Texas-Georgia date, I don't see that coinciding with this timeline. He may be committed before he shows up to that visit, or he could do it after. I will tell you this. I think this is going to be the last trip he makes. I think the Texas-Georgia game is going to be the last one he makes at least before we get some conclusion to it. And again, I just think Texas has the lead over here after a really good run by Nebraska and Oregon.
You think those are the two teams that it's down to right now? I mean, on paper, there's more teams.
I think it's down to Texas
in reality,
and Nebraska.
You think it's those two?
Yeah, I think it's Texas in the lead, and I think Nebraska is the one that would come up runner-up if they were in a beauty contest.
Okay. All right, let's move to the
And I'm not
segment.
saying Sark is more handsome than Matt Rule. Not that kind of contest.
All right. We might have to do this weekly, this next segment. It's called Texas Taking FSU's Lunch Money segment. And we've talked Myron Charles flip already. Javian Hilson, the decommit from Florida State, trending heavily to the Longhorns. And this weekend, wide receiver commitment to FSU, Dalen McCutcheon, is going to be on campus for a visit. This is significant. Last weekend, he was at A&M. This weekend, it's the Longhorns. Kind of, much like Malcolm Simpson, is he a priority target for the Horns, or is this a situation where they're just trying to keep him warm to see what happens down the road?
Texas and McCutcheon kept the relationship even after he committed to Florida State. And, Texas made sure that they had their priorities. Jamie French, Khalil Lockett, big-time 5-stars, those were the guys that they honed in on. Once they got those two, that's when I think now they're shifting to the next level. They're shifting to adding to finishing out that wide receiver haul. They really like Dalen McCutcheon. He is a very complete wide receiver. Todd Dodge and those guys at Lovejoy have done a great job, and FSU did a great job early in that recruitment, solidifying that foundation and that relationship. But McCutcheon's he's keeping his options open. He's watching games. He understands that he may have a chance to play college football in state. He could stay closer to home if he pick Texas or Texas A&M. I think the Horns want him, and I think after this weekend we're going to see movement in this recruitment because I can see them taking 4 wide receivers, at least 3, and they've got 2 in the mix right now. McCutcheon's a guy that Texas thinks very highly of. Like I said, he's a very complete receiver, and honestly, McCutcheon could be so complimentary to a guy like Khalil Lockett and Jamie French. If Texas could flip that kid this weekend, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right. Texas fans, talk to us. Let us know how you're feeling about this upcoming weekend with Dalen McCutcheon in town. Also, Malcolm Simpson, potential flip target down the road. We'll see. Talk to us. Let us know. Comment section below.